So first of all, I think we just need to say is that cruiser yachts do a great owner's manual, and it's, from what I've seen, it's very well detailed and very well explained. So always revert back to that. They do diagrams, plumbing diagrams, schematics, where you can see exactly where each thing is routed. Okay.
So what are we looking at here, Barry?
So first of all, what we're looking at here is this is the main control panel for both your shore power, which is your AC, not to be confused with air conditioning. What I mean is alternating current.
Okay.
So this can be powered off either the generator or off your shore power cord out the back of the boat. Everything up here is off your batteries. This is all 12 or 24 volt DC. These two systems are separated. You can have one running without the other. So naturally, if you leave the boat, you would generally have most of your DC systems off. And so long as you're plugged into shore power, you can leave on your battery chargers, your AC. You can leave on some outlets if you say had a lampshade or something plugged in for a little bit of light on the boat.
So where would you turn off your DC?
So your DC, there's three main switches here to turn most stuff off. This guy up here, which is your 24 volt main.
Okay, hold on a minute. So which one?
This one here,
okay.
This top breaker, which says main, which it'll knock off this green light here anyway. Okay, this other one here, it'll knock off that green light. And this other one here should knock off that green light.
And that's your DC, and that means you're no longer on the boat battery.
Right. So you're knocking off these three switches is like turning off your ignition key in your car. Okay. It doesn't completely switch off all power. So for all boats, they've got like a main battery switch. Okay, which is basically like opening up your bonnet and disconnecting your battery lead off your battery. Okay, on boats like this, so long as you're plugged in, you generally don't need to do that, but to do that you need to just open up the engine hatch and knock off physically the main batteries. Okay, that will not affect any of this. So long as you're plugged into shore power and your shore power breakers are all on, this should all stay alive. So you'll know that because obviously here on the gauge you'll have 240 volts, either one or two.
Are you on shore power now, or are
yes,
you?
We're on shore power now. Yeah.
Okay.
So to know if we're on shore power or on the generator, down at the bottom here, you will see the two lights. Well, three lights actually. So we're on dock side 1, which means we're on the shore power cable. If we wanted to knock off the main power coming in from shore power, we can kill this guy here. In an emergency, that's fine, but typically you would generally, reduce the load by knocking off each device and then turning that off.
Then turning it off.
Right, exactly. When you turn the shore power off, you can slide this little guy over, and then that will allow you to switch on the generator breaker. So if your generator was on, you knock this off, you slide this over, and you pop on the generator circuit, then your generator lights will come on, and the generator will power all this.
So when you're on shore power, you're going to be on that lower panel, and then when you're underway, you're going to be relying on what's above.
Right. So we're connected to shore power at the moment. So what we can do is we can we'll knock off some devices here before we disconnect the cable. Once we knock off some of these devices, we'll knock off shore power. We can start the generator before we knock this off. The generator can run, it can warm up. And then once we disconnect the cable, we switch our power off, we transfer over, and we apply our breaker here.
How long should you give the generator to warm up?
Like a minute or something. Just don't apply load straight away. It's not a big deal if you do, but it's just good practice to,
It'll make it last longer.
It's better for the engine, yeah. It's like your car, you don't want to just pull out of the driveway and go 100 mile an hour down the road straight away. So, but you can start up the generator. I can start that now actually.
So you have to start the generator manually when you're getting ready to disconnect from shore power.
Correct. Yeah. So if you were coming on the boat, you can start up your engines, start up all your systems, start your generator, make sure there's no leaks. You do all your regular checks. when you start the engines, they will throw an alarm on the screen to say, I'm pretty sure this boat does it, you know, warning you your shore power cable is still connected. So once you've everything running, and then you can kill the power off the shore power line, give it to the generator, and then everything is running, and you can go out then and unplug your shore power cable from your dock. So really it's just whichever one is feeding power. It's either your dock side or your generator.
So you're going to move that switch over.
Yeah, so if we can do it now. So see if we just start. The AC really here is the main load. It's really not much else. So we can knock that off. Okay.
Okay.
That's showing you that you've got power coming in. There is power at the dock. If you plug in your cable and there's no lights on here, well then there's either no power at the dock or the breaker. There's another breaker. Sorry, there's a lot of breakers. There's another breaker just where the shore power cable comes into the boat, which may be tripped as well. Okay, but if you've got light here, then that means as soon as you flick that up, you should have power here.
So there could be something wrong with the boat if that light's not coming on.
Exactly, or the cable, or more than likely it's probably the dock on the marina. So we can knock that off, and we simply slide that over. Our generator is already running, and we can apply load then. And if the generator was running, all this will
So you
power
need to
back up.
turn on, and then once you've ready to flip it over, then that's when you flip it onto the generator.
Correct. Yeah, you could have this on and start your generator, but you know it's better just do it in stages. So you're not surging anything, you're not overloading anything.
Yeah.
You know? So let me run down and just turn on the generator battery switch. It's got a battery switch as well. So you've got generator battery switch. You've got a main battery switch for both engines, one for each side. And then you've got a house battery switch, and the house battery switch gives power to all this here. Okay. So
Very good. All right.
there's a lot. There's some. You know, it'll explain this here, guys, as well. So reverse polarity. So if there's a problem as well with the shore power cord and this light comes on, it could be that the socket is wet, that the shore power pedestal on the marina is bad. You know, if this comes on, then you've got a problem and you should disconnect it and see what's going on. What I would do is, if this comes on in your shore power, you know, disconnect the shore power, start the generator, and see if everything is okay.
How would you troubleshoot it if you plug into shore power and you're not sure if it's a breaker problem on your side, or you're not sure if it's a problem with the marina?
There's a little pan beside the breaker, right at the back of the boat where the cable comes in. There's a little light there. So I can show you that in a second. So that and you can, there's a test button there as well.
So Barry, tell us, over on the left side, there's some gauges over there. That,
so
what are those?
okay, so this is your windlass. If you ever overpowered your windlass, so your anchor up front.
Anchor. Okay.
So it's on a button. So basically, it's an electric motor bringing in your chain. So if you ever overpowered your windlass, or you put too much pressure on it, or perhaps there was a fault, this might trip the breaker. So that'll basically flick down like that. Okay.
Gotcha.
So you figured out you might have, you know, not drove the boat up to the windlass enough. It was caught in a rock or heavy wind. You overpowered it. That's fine. You come down here, you flick that back up. It should work again.
Okay.
Okay. This here is for your fresh water on board. So for any tap, toilet, sink, shower that has fresh water, this is the level of that water. Okay.
Right.
That is the same freshwater tank that will feed your hot water, your electric hot water heater. So the one thing you want to make sure, and there's probably a label here saying it somewhere, yeah, water heater. So you want to just make sure, if you do have your water heater on or left on, make sure you've got some water in the tank, or it could burn out the water heater. Okay. This is your tank monitor for this. This is your holding tank. So
what's that?
For black water, so for your toilets.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's empty at the moment. If this, you can get this sucked out at the marina.
Yeah.
Or you can empty it through the hull. And there's a bit of a sequence to doing that, but you generally have to be about 3 miles offshore, I think, according to US Coast Guard rules. So most people would have it sucked out at the marina, and that's just like a little cap beside your diesel cap or
Yeah.
beside your freshwater fill, where you
Right.
can just basically stick in a vacuum and suck everything out. So that'll tell you that the level of the tank is just right underneath you there. It's quite a large
And then
tank.
what's the button above that for?
That's just a little breaker. It's just a small little breaker. It's like a little breaker like these or like these.
Gotcha.
That'll flick out if
All right.
this monitor goes bad.
All right, you're going to flip on the AC again.
Yep, let's flick on the AC. So these are just to power each unit. There's 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 units, 3 units. So you've got the AC heater salon, AC heater mid, and AC heater forward. And then you've got your AC water pump. This pump has to be on for any of these to work.
Okay.
Okay, so even if you're only using the mid one, the pump has to be on. So that basically pumps the raw water to that AC unit to cool it.
Does the same logic apply of turning on the AC water pump before the other AC units?
Not necessarily, no, because these units will actually turn on this pump.
Okay.
So long as the pump is given power by this breaker, they will turn it on and off as they choose.
All right.
Yeah. Now, once you do turn on this pump, it is going to send water to all these 3 units, regardless if they're on or not. That's not something you need to worry about. Just
all right. All right,
so-
Barry. Let's go